I uploaded another video like an hour or two ago, so to switch it up and not have the same outfit in the same, like, the same thumbnail two in a row, I'm switching it up with a hat! Hats are cool, especially when people I love made them. Thanks, Mel. Yeah, so my video now, I want to make one about Tourette's. I think I make less about Tourette's than my other subjects, so I really want to cover that still. I have started a new medication recently called Abilify, which is apparently relatively new to be used for Tourette's. I thought I was out of options, but that's what the neurologist around here said, but he wasn't specialized, so I've seen a professional, specialized in Tourette Syndrome in Montreal recently, and he prescribed me Abilify, which I started like a few weeks ago. So far the side effects have been kind of creepy, but hopefully that's just like within the first few weeks and it'll kind of go away. I've been like, it's the weirdest thing. I feel like I was sitting next to my sister and I was sort of in another reality where like the other reality was a black hole and there was absolutely nothing there, which doesn't sound like a reality, but just a nothing. And then my sister said something and I was just like I was sucked back into the reality, and I was like really confused, and I was, where was I and where am I now? And I just woke up that morning with the same kind of feeling around 4 AM and I didn't go back to sleep. I think I spent some time on You Now. So that was one thing, and I don't know if it's actually making my tics worse for some reason. Maybe it's making me more and more anxious, but that could be just, you know, like I said, the first while, because like, yeah, so I had, a comment, like, actually I have a lot of comments. You know what my favorite video is to get a comment on is, my favorite video, Tourette Syndrome on the bus, because I get so many well, I get a lot of positive comments still, but a lot of, that's the one where I get mostly called a faker or fake, or that I'm lying or whatever. I'm just putting on some show for YouTube for some reason, which I don't exactly know why I would do. I mean, if I was just kind of messing around and joking, why wouldn't I just admit it to the people who are saying I'm fake? I'm like, yeah, I was faking. It was just like some stupid video, like, why does it matter? But I wasn't faking, and I keep defending myself, and it means nothing to these people, apparently, who some of them say they're professionals, and I believe them, but I'm not lying. I'm just not. And, okay, and I had one person, he was not saying I was faking, but, so something like, because in my Tourette's swearing video, I was worried that I was, like, gonna end up, like, alone forever, because who would want to be with someone with Tourette's? And he commented something like, I wouldn't mind being with someone with Tourette's, but I can't be with you because you're so negative. And the negative he was talking about was the swearing, where it's like, why don't you say kitty fart or something instead of something offensive word? And that's kind of like saying, I wouldn't mind being with a diabetic, but I can't be with you because you have low blood pressure. Like, are you kidding me? That's completely... Seriously? Coprolalia is not, by definition, saying things like kitty fart. If it was, I don't think it would be so famous at this point. I don't think people would enjoy it this much, like, and South Park wouldn't have gotten, you know, so many views from people, from their characters saying kitty fart. It's just not like that, and if I swear, it's not because I'm being negative, it's because it's just sort of a word bursting forth from my body that means nothing, aside from the fact that, I don't know, I'm afraid to say it, therefore I do, which is what coprolalia is. Like, you say what you're afraid to say, or what is inappropriate, or anything like that. Jeez. Another one of those videos where I'm gonna talk forever. I'm so sorry. So basically, I'm just saying I wasn't being negative. If I swear, I am sorry if it offends anyone, but I'm not being negative. And in fact, a lot of the videos where I have Tourette's, I'm actually making jokes or laughing or smiling about it, or just continuing on as if as if nothing was. Like in the beginning, I was incredibly devastated to be starting to make noises. I think it started called Tourette's after all, and I was incredibly devastated. But with time, I got used to it, and I became a lot more accepting. And I don't find that I am negative all that much about it. I think there are times when Tourette's is negative, coprolalia is negative. But having those things is not negative, and doing those things does not make me a negative person. Thank you very much. I even made a video like this evening where I was, you know, bubbly and not at all negative. I really want to I represent negative subjects, but I feel that especially in the last while, like long while, I have been pretty freaking great, and I'm happy with it. I don't know, last night was really bad Tourette's wise, like really bad. I was watching The Amazing Spider-Man for like the 4th or 5th time with at my brother's place with my sister-in-law and my sister, and I was feeling quite odd, and then I was making lots of noises, and suddenly I just sort of, like, my body kind of twisted, like, it's called, I think dystonic Tourette's, you can look it up, it's a thing, where you kind of had this kind of a wreathing movements, but my body kind of, like, twisted back, and then forward, and I got kind of thrown out of my chair, and I hit the floor, a ways away from the chair, spectacularly, and it became very violent. My body was wreathing and all kinds of, it's kind of like my entire body is a wet rag being wrung out until there's like barely not a drop left will come out. That's what my entire body felt like, and I was screaming, and it was incredible. Well, it was incredible. It was incredibly, it was painful. It was emotionally scary and embarrassing, especially since I was like flopping around, and my brother and my sister, like, they were there, and they were trying to help me, like, keep me from having my head bang against the wall, because I was almost banging my head against the wall, and they wanted to know what to do, and I felt bad because I knew they loved me, and that I knew that it would scare them or hurt them. So I felt bad, and I felt emotionally distraught because, well, my body was being wrung out like a rag, and try to be positive when that's happening. And it ended with me basically bursting into hysterical tears, covering my face and crying and crying and crying, getting hugs, and then I was still twitching some afterwards, and then I was like, do you want to go and lie down in Jason's bed? And like, no, I'm pretty sure I want to watch the funny movie, so let's do that. And I still ticked for a while, and I felt very weak and very odd sensation through my entire body, which was very uncomfortable, and I was shaking. Which I don't know if it's because of the physical stress that my entire body went through, or the emotional stress. I'm not exactly sure. But that's what happened last night. And I actually slept over on my brother's living room floor because I didn't want to be alone. I was afraid because I was not well at all. So, all considering, the next day, I'm in a good mood. I think that the things I'm living with are incredibly negative, and the situations I have to face are negative, but I think that I face it in a generally positive way. So I am not sorry for it. I am not sorry for my attitude. I think that sometimes life gets you down, and you gotta be down, but you get through it, and you end up being a stronger person for it. And I'm making plans. I want to be better with my Tourette's. Like, I'm vying for this therapy that someone has been amazing enough to offer me. That I'm gonna go and do that, and on this med, maybe it'll help. Maybe it'll make me better. Like, maybe in a few weeks, like, my body will adjust to it, and I'll be better than I am. I don't think I'm gonna get, there's no cure for Tourette's. There's just not. But I'm gonna do what I can to get better, and I want to have a future. I want to, like I was talking about before, having foster kids. I wanna spend my life helping people on YouTube. I want to be positive, and I feel positive. So I would date someone who has Tourette's, but I wouldn't date you because you're too negative. Well, thank you. That's incredibly contradictory, and I don't think I'm such a negative catch just because I have Tourette's, and just because I swear. And I think that even kids would understand that kind of thing if you explain it to them. And so I don't understand why even adults don't understand it. I mean, my nephew and my niece are fine with it. They get it. If they hear Melissa make a noise, or Auntie Melissa make a noise, they know what the deal is. Well, when they were really young, they kept asking over every time something happened. They were like, why did you do that? And we're like, we explained this to you. But at some point, like, kids, they catch on. So yeah, that's what my Tourette's has been lately. It's really bad last night, but I started a new med lately, so it could be that, you know, my body is just adjusting to it, and sometimes there is that adjustment period. I do have those. I have a neurologist and also a specialist in Tourette syndrome that wrote me on a prescription paper that I have Tourette syndrome, so that when people don't believe me, I can show them. And I would show it like in a video, but like I'm worried that they might not like it because it's got their contact information on it and everything. And I don't know if they'd really want me to do that. But like individual people, I show them that. Maybe I'll like take a picture of it and blur out the parts that they might not want anyone to see, and just have you like show their writing and maybe their signature and stuff like that, and the fact that it's on a prescription paper. And I have 2 of those prescription papers by specialists. And okay, if you feel like you know Tourette so well, and that there's a little box that the symptoms of Tourette's fit in, and if I'm not in that box that you feel it is in, then clearly I don't have Tourette's. Seriously? I mean, Tourette's can be absolutely anything. Any movement, any noise, any word, and yes, it can even be sentences. Yes, it can be sentences. I've read about it. It happens. I do it all the time. It can be sentences. Yeah. It can even be imitating other people's tics, which is apparently called echopraxia, which I also have. I started one of this sweet kid on that her mom documents her tics. She does this kind of a hand an arm tic, and I always noticed that she was like in pain when she did it, and I was like, I wonder why that hurts. Like, is it because of the strain of the arm going out? And it's like the bone hitting against the bone. Painful. Gosh, that was painful. It was really painful. And she keeps doing that, so I get it. Like, last night I was imitating her tics, so that's another thing. Echopraxia. Echolalia is when you is when you repeat what you say or what other people say. There's kind of a stuttering that gets done. I also do that. I stutter only when I'm having major tics moment, not like in general. I say a lot, but I can't blame that on Tourette's at all. Okay, so I'm gonna shut up, which I also say a lot, but I can't blame on Tourette's. And I hope this was helpful in some way, other than me just like rambling. But maybe like, I just like for people to feel like they're related to and stuff. Bye.